know how it goes. Smash, like, subscribe, comment. I don't care what you comment, as long as you comment you did. Make sure y'all go smash them links for real for me. The Clubhouse joint, definitely the Instagram joint, and whatever else you want to follow me on. I'm gonna start also posting more videos to Facebook. What do you call it? Fan support page. I don't like saying fan. I got supporters, so on and so forth, man. I appreciate everybody out there that held me down while I was gone away from 30, 31, 32 days. Appreciate y'all big time, man. Let's get straight to this video, man. What's crazy in the Wayne County Jail is that I seen so many young people, and I never really seen them this young, coming in at 18, 19, 20 years old. And you could tell that their maturity level, like they're walking around gangster like all day, and then as soon as Zootopia come on, you know, the animated cartoon, which is a good cartoon, but Zootopia came on, and I seen all the gangsters, all the bloods run and say Zootopia, like all happy and ecstatic that this came on again, right? I don't know if Zootopia used to be a cartoon or something like that. I don't know. I haven't did the research on it. Maybe I should do the research, but I didn't care to. It ain't nothing too serious. But they all ran to watch Zootopia, and I'm like, what is Zootopia? It was good. Don't get it twisted. But it's like, damn, bro, you in here for like 2 bodies, and you up here smiling, cheesing from ear to ear for the first time in days because Zootopia came on again. It's crazy. It is definitely crazy. The morals and principles that our young men who are incarcerated these days and out here committing crime to come from poverty, the morals and principles that they have are very few. It's little or none. They don't mind robbing a 60-year-old inmate to come in because they hungry. And I understand you get hungry, you do some desperate things, but man, some things it's just not worth it. Sometimes you got to save half your breakfast, half your lunch, and eat your dinner, then snack on what you got left throughout the day, whether it's cold, whether it's nasty, or whatever the case may be. I seen brothers in there washing clothes to make money. I seen brothers in units that shouldn't be in certain units because they mentally ill and can be easily persuaded and taken advantage of. The courts really need to start considering this, man. I look at some of these brothers, man, and can't read or write. I remember a guy asked me to explain some things to him out the Quran and out the Bible, and some words that he couldn't read and the other brothers couldn't pronounce that was in his circle. And I used to read to some of them, and I asked 2 brothers, like, okay, y'all got a hard time reading? They told me, yeah. I'm like, you know, just be honest. Ain't nothing to be embarrassed about. Some people didn't have the opportunity to go to school. They had to get out, hustle. They had to go get out, pump gas, wash cars, collect bottles, whatever you do to hustle, right? At the tender age of, you know, 11 or 12, and you know they had to be in the streets and didn't have time to go to school because they had to put food on the table. That should be understandable to some people. Like, man, ain't no food up in the house. What do I do for me and my brothers and sisters? I gotta go out and hustle and skip school. I understand it. I know it and seen it all too well. Have I done it myself? I didn't have to. You know, have I went out and hustled at a younger age and skipped school? Yes, I have, but I didn't have to. Some people had to. That's the difference. I had a choice. I should be more to blame. I should take more blame. I should be ridiculed more than those guys who never had the opportunity to because they had to eat. They had to feed their sisters. They had to go get formula and Similac because we know drug addiction can make you do some treacherous things, right? So I say all that to say this, man. I asked the brothers, you know how to read. So I tell everybody, if you don't know how to read much, you need to learn the alphabet. Not the alphabet, ABC. You need to learn the pronunciation of the alphabet and words combined. So I tell people, learn the Spanish alphabet, learn the French alphabet, the pronunciations. So I taught them the Spanish. I knew French, I got to touch up on, you know, and you know, tell them things like T-I-O-N, that's shun, or I-O-N, on, so on and so forth, right? It was just amazing to me, not amazing, but it was just mind-blowing that the words that they didn't know, or how I read something and I simply understood it, but they didn't, but it felt good and warmed my heart up and built a bond with some of them brothers. Shout out Bloody Glove Mafia. It Bloods. It just warmed my heart to teach them brothers something, because the best time I had with my mother when I was young, even though not the best time, but I hated it. But when I look back on it and I see grown men that can't read, or young men that can't read, old men that can't read, I look back and say, damn, my mother took the time out and forced me to read. So when I look back on it, it brings a smile to my face that my mother took the time out to teach me how to read. And I think, like, man, maybe nobody took the time out for them to teach them how to read, write, make a resume, so on and so forth. And this is the life that they chose. That's why I say things like this should just be taken into consideration. People's learning ability, it should be a test for, like some type of aptitude test to see how you'll fit back out into society. Can you read or write? Okay, maybe this is why he couldn't be employed. Maybe he was so desperate that he did this. Maybe he shouldn't get that much time. He was a product of his environment. Or maybe I might be wrong. Y'all gotta let me know y'all opinions down in the comment. I want more video ideas also too. But it blew my mind when Zootopia came on, how many people ran to see it. These guys were all that I was around in my last rock where I really built with people. I was the oldest guy on the rock at the 30 ball. Well, no, I wasn't. Also, shout Chief. Also, he was the oldest guy on the rock, and he was like 37, and I was like second behind him. Everybody else, it was 3 people. It was another guy 30. No, he's 32. Another guy 32. Out of 14 people on the rock, only 3 of them were in their 30s. The rest of them, the other 11, were all, it's 4. The other 10 guys were all 24 and under. All 24 and under. Crazy, man. What the streets breeding these days. And it's sad to me, even though, I went there to see that. I think God allows the best of planners. I know God allows the best of planners. I went there for a reason. I went there to talk to people. I went there to get some of those stories, come back out and convey them to y'all, so y'all can go to y'all relatives, y'all loved ones, and people in the same conditions, and understand what they're going through, and get a voice. That's what it had to be. Why would God Allah say, hey, go to jail, don't let the officers show up, so on and so forth, and get out? It was to collect those stories. It was to show me, bro, you're not so tough. You ain't got no steel on you in there. It's hard to make one of them in there. Ain't none of these. So it's hard. It's nothing to really make them from like that. Even though I know how. But it showed me too what state my people were at, and what state the gang banging was at, the gang members was at, and what could I do to influence that or change it. It got to be a reason behind everything, man. I just want to tell y'all that, man. Peace and blessings be to y'all.